Well, they hadn't played in
I know, but
50 years.
it doesn't mean that, like, I think
They
the
were
Raiders
having an
played at Seal
archival
Stadium.
day.
They did?
Oakland, yeah.
What,
Oakland played at Seal Stadium.
the Raiders? I don't
When they
remember
first,
that.
yeah, when they first,
When they first, I showed you that field on the freeway there, Langley JC, they played there. 4,000 seats, it was a little stadium, but that's all they had on that side of the
and
road.
whenever they have games in San Francisco, they always talk about the Seals and they show
Well,
statue of a Seal.
around Giant Stadium, they have a seal and they have a day on it, so the Pacific Coast League seal. Do we ever take you up there? The new stadium?
No,
Huh?
I don't, I ain't been to San Francisco since that thing was built.
We went
Last
there.
time I was in
We
San
were there.
Francisco was right after the
With Wendy and
earthquake,
Judy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
and not '06 or '07.
You were there when?
Right after the, or before the earthquake, we were there with Jimmy and Rachel, and we spent the night down there by Fisherman's Wharf.
Was that when you guys came here?
That's what?
That's when you came here with Rachel and Jimmy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the last time
Oh,
I,
year was that?
that's
Well,
the
that
last
was
time
a
we were in
long
San
time
Was
Francisco.
that the year of the earthquake, 94?
No, it was, I thought it was about that time because,
Well, the World Series was going on in San
It was
Francisco,
90.
Oakland and San
80
Francisco.
was it there
and,
89 or 90?
Yeah.
when
well, that's
Oakland, San
because I
Francisco
had a,
played,
we had a
this part of
90,
the stadium fell off during the broadcast.
no, we rented a car.
We rented a
But we
car.
rented it, we had, the car we rented was just like the one we had. I think it was a '90 Ford,
Why did you rent a car?
because we flew out
We
here.
flew out and rented a
Oh,
car.
We
and
rented a
drove-
car
That's
and-
right,
And
that's
then
right.
You
flew
took-
out of.
We went abroad that year. You took us to Mexico and we drove to Canada.
Oh, yeah.
Went to see
Did
Tommy.
you take
What-
Rachel and Jimmy to Canada?
Yeah, went to see Tommy.
Oh.
But now, Jim, we've been to Canada since then.
Well, we went to Canada with you from, on Toronto side. When
But we
went
went
to
and
Nova
visited
Scotia.
Tommy, stayed with Tommy, and that was since Rachel and
Yeah,
Jimmy.
but I don't know, I can't
I
remember
don't
going
know,
to San
surely we went to
Francisco.
San Francisco if we went there, did we?
Could've got 5.
Um,
Missed it.
That was the year that I retired, wasn't it? And we were gone about 5 weeks, we visited Irene and I,
We went to Irene and Ives.
and we
No,
went to Tommy.
no,
Did you come here? You must have come
yeah,
here.
Yeah, I'm sure we did. But I know we went to Irene's.
yeah, we went, and then we went across,
Tommy.
rode the ferry across to whatchamacallit and went to, when was the Olympics in
Los Angeles?
Vancouver?
Oh, Vancouver.
Well, now, we visited,
Nine-
86.
no, we visited Irene.
86,
When
was
Rachel-
the, oh, that was the World's Fair.
84 was the
84
World's
was
Fair.
in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
Jim,
but
we
it
visited
wasn't
Irene,
86
when-
Had to
in
be,
Vancouver.
well, if it was after you retired,
we
it
went
was,
up there.
oh, I know, it was
That
when
was
we had that Army
Epcot
reunion.
Center, right? Or no, that was the,
No,
No.
So we picked up in
Expo.
Denver.
that was
Yeah.
84, wasn't it?
Oh, you
No.
picked us up. We
No,
flew
we
to
went to
San
Irene's,
It
I know with
seems I
Rachel
had a
and Jimmy, but we
t-shirt
may
that
have
was
gone
from
back
that
several
year.
times.
Yeah.
Sweatshirt.
we did, because we went to Tommy's
Wasn't
and,
it
But we went to
86?
we
Tommy's
stayed
and
in,
spent the
and,
night, and he took us
I
up
think.
into Canada.
where they were gonna have the Olympics,
Yeah.
the Winter Olympics.
Yeah, that was more recent, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's the last time, and I can't remember going to San Francisco, and I don't know
Well,
how,
I don't know how we didn't go, though.
well, I don't either, but I remember,
Well, maybe you did.
Maybe you went
Wait,
into
that's-
Seattle.
There was no.
no, we
light.
drive, that's when we drive, that would have been 90, when'd you retire, 96,
97.
97?
Well, there was no one living in San Francisco in 97.
No,
I was in
No, but I'm
Arizona.
just thinking that we would have gone by when we.
how did we get there though, if we, I'm sure we stopped here,
What if you didn't?
Because we drove, and
We'd
we
be
were gone
mad.
about 5 weeks.
We're getting mad because you didn't stop here.
I'm sure we did. We went to Ives.
Well, I wasn't living up there then.
I
No, she was
wouldn't-
in,
that's when,
Arizona.
yeah, we went to Arizona, and she took us to her
Oh,
favorite
that's
place
right.
to eat.
And you guys went and sat in the garage while she smoked or something?
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, we did that when I went,
I
We
don't
went
know. I don't
by-
remember going to San Francisco.
I don't either, maybe we didn't,
Uh,
but I know we went to Washington and.
Well, we went to San Francisco because we went up we went up the coast,
But you could have
the
gone
ocean,
by
to
all the way through
through,
Oakland and then gone
across
across.
the Golden Gate and up that way. As I remember that bridge and
Maybe we just didn't.
somewhere,
I mean, we didn't know
so
anybody
high.
there and didn't do anything except ride.
Were you there then?
I think I
No.
was there 97?
90 what?
97?
And what year were you there?
No, it was 96, but I was in the
well, we didn't go
dorms.
see you.
Right.
You're one we skipped.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Wasn't your
I
favorite
don't
then.
remember, but I know we.
In fact, we didn't stay anywhere long. We went to where Tommy was
Sit by
working
you.
and stayed about 20
Are you
minutes.
running
And
that
we
every
stayed
once
about
in
an
a while?
hour.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Dale,
Why
this
did
is
you
about
bring
an
that
hour.
chair over?
Because Dave came in,
Irene
Oh,
and
where's the-
Yeah, that's when
Hodge.
Rachel
He's
and Jimmy went,
just
That's
went
when
back
Rachel
to the
was in.
bedroom.
cause we stayed with Irene
We flew home from that trip.
from Jimmy and Rachel's.
Yeah, we flew from Seattle.
But we stayed with Tommy's a couple of.
Are you gonna see Tommy this time?
No,
We're not.
He's
not that
moved.
far.
He did? Where's he
he's still
live?
in Canada, but he's closer to
To the
closer
border.
to the line.
I
But
think they like to go over, come into
Seattle.
West
Shop.
shop, grocery shops.
Are you
Is
going up
Vancouver?
to, are you going to Northern California?
no,
No.
Oh, we're going to Santa Maria.
Well, I know, that's not,
That's north of here.
We're probably going back through.
Tommy's
Oklahoma
wife
City,
was older than he was.
So
and
what?
She's
Through Oklahoma
probably not in
City
real good
somehow.
shape.
Oh,
But not back to Madill.
Mhm.
Are his daughters married?
Yeah, one of them lives in Houston, and, well, the other one I don't think's married, but the one that's married lives in Houston.
Oh.
You know, I bet your mail from the mailbox on your desk. I went down to my car and just,
Oh, thanks. I brought you a chair. Right there, or you can sit here, either one.
Or you could stand.
what? I didn't hear you.
You can stand if you don't want to sit.
Oh, he's got coffee.
No, it's water.
They honk at you in the street out there. They're pretty around your.
Hmm?
Wake up, Pat.
If
He
I
said
were
honk because he won't
nearby-
step out in the traffic.
Uh-oh, did you get honked at?
One parks across the street. I guess it's a good reminder in case you step out and.
Hmm.
We're that 50,000 in the district. Is it?
Yeah.
How long did it take you to get home? On an average day from here?
Probably 2 hours.
2 hours.
He's trying to consider whether to stay overnight or not, though.
That's good.
Which way, 101 to the 5 or
You don't have to work tomorrow.
Work in the afternoon.
And then,
He runs that place down there. Called him and told me he's gonna take the day off.
ooh.
Uh-huh.
How
We're
long,
not that good.
how many days, how long were you in Las Vegas?
3 days.
2 days?
3.
3 days?
Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching.
And you came out good?
Yeah.
Good.
Well,
Even.
yeah.
Came home with money anyhow.
Yeah.
The last time we were
Folks sure
here,
do ask a lot of questions.
we
though.
rode back through Las Vegas
Yeah.
and spent the night, and we went just to
Look at
go
happy
into a
camper
casino
there, Pat. You're all
just to
dressed
see.
up, blue tie.
And, you know, I'm used to the kind you pull down like this, I'll bet you.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have
they're
to
all
make
paper.
choices, and,
Yeah.
and I finally went up to one of the security people and I said, is there anybody here that can show me what to do with this? But even when they showed me, I couldn't.
What do you
Figure it
do?
out.
When do you get off? You get off next Friday? Can you meet us in Vegas and give her some lessons? Why not?
Well, I don't think I want.
Wait a minute, don't get. Why not?
Pay for the flight out there. Yeah, all right, I'll be there.
I mean, you can drive like I'm gonna drive.
I'm all right.
It's a long driving on a Friday night.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
Well, you
Oh.
see the traffic over
we
where you are.
do.
When
It's bad.
Kay and I flew out of Las Vegas when Daddy,
With the accident, when you had
Yeah.
the accident.
and we gambled in the terminal.
Yeah,
Mm.
but you
A
could
dollar
pull,
each, $1 each.
you could pull that time.
Yeah,
You have to push to someone like them.
we didn't win.
Well, I could back down on where you pull or push the few times I've done it, but not where you had to make a choice on what you would do. I mean, you
I've
know,
always been surprised that they went to the paper and to the silent. I mean, so many people like the noise and the, you know, the coins
It's
falling.
not
And the
silent.
Ding, ding, ding,
You know,
ding,
she could
ding.
drive 80 miles
You guys are going
and
to
do all
Las
the slot
Vegas on a
machines
Friday?
she
It's
wanted
silent
to.
compared to when
I
you
don't
pull the
want,
lever.
I just wanted to say
Huh?
I had
It's
done it in
silent
Las
compared to
Vegas.
when you pull the lever for the,
I'm not lucky, so I don't wanna waste
you
any
know,
money.
it's all
I
visual.
still hear coins.
No, you don't. You don't,
Yeah.
you don't
They have
have
a
one.
simulated
If you go
sound
downtown,
on it.
Yeah,
they
it's
ship
true.
all the machines down there. Most of them are paper.
But,
Yeah.
but you
But
still
if you
hear,
go, if you go to downtown, that's where all the machines that were at the
Yeah,
casinos
but
on
I'm
the strip.
surprised the big
Oh.
guys did that
And so we
because
just didn't go to the right place.
people have complained about it since they've
But
done
if
it.
I went back to Las Vegas, I'd wanna go to the pawn shop that they have on TV.
Oh, yeah.
It's small.
When I
Have you
got
been
out of
to
the
it?
Army,
We've been by there, but it's
there was
a
three
small
of us
little
that drove
place.
back
Is it?
and we
Yeah.
went to
Looks
Las
like a-
Vegas. And we stayed about a block or a block and a half, maybe 2 blocks, I can't remember exactly, real close to the Golden Nugget, and that's downtown, right?
Yeah.
$7 and a half a night
Oh, wow.
$7 for what?
for a room.
For a hotel room?
You can
When?
still get a room down there.
Nineteen-
for $20.
1961.
Yeah.
$25.
Yeah, you can still get a room for 25, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know,
Could be where they give you a room and breakfast, you have.
We
your-
went one time when the kids were little and stayed, that was in Las Vegas,
It was
wasn't it?
Reno.
Reno. And I know, well, didn't we go to Las Vegas too, because y'all went, we went to, I guess spent the night in Reno, but I think we went to Las, well, anyway, the kids, he walked with kids up and down.
That was at Vegas, but it was
Yeah, well,
early.
that's it, yeah. And I had a,
roll of
A roll
nickels,
of
$2
nickels.
roll of nickels.
and I went in and seen her and used the rolling nickel, and that was when you pushed them or pulled them.
Mm.
And while the kids were out, and then Ted, Dale Reno won, and Ted, we
Reno.
let him pull them. And Gail got so mad because, you know, they were all too young to, but she was little and she didn't like it because Ted got to do it and she
Oh,
didn't.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised they let you in because I just
This
walked
It
in
was
the
in
edge.
in the restroom or somewhere like
Oh, in the
that.
hotel.
Well,
I just
we
walked in the edge with Courtney one time when she was a baby and the
Whoa.
guard came right to me and told me I had to leave.
Yeah, well, this was in the hotel, in the lobby of the hotel.
Where were we at? We were in a hotel
We
lobby,
met,
right?
This
uh,
was-
Justin,
Yeah,
Patrick,
you went
and
crazy.
Meryl and I met in Reno once and went to Tahoe and they played the machines, but they were too young. But they were big, so I think that's how they got away with it.
I
They
wasn't
were
too young.
tall, you mean?
What are you talking
Think
about?
so.
When we met in Reno and went to
they weren't too young.
Tahoe,
No, we were.
No,
young.
I wasn't too young. I was already living in San Francisco.
Well, that was too young, you consider.
yeah, it was
Wow.
too young. You were 34 then.
I won $140 some. So.
I remember that. Here I'm sitting there, my little dollar at a time, and I go over and here's Patrick and Justin playing $5, $10. And I'm going,
Yeah,
what am
well-
I saving it for?
You know, of course, Harris County, our county is, you can't do stuff like that, but there's any number of places between Pine Mountain and Columbus that Bo Hasty wins $1,200–1,300 a week in some of those little,
Like a VFW or,
no, it's just,
Indian casinos.
no, it's just some guy got a little store and they got a slot in the back room,
Really?
yeah.
Huh.
Well,
In
Harold
fact,
Messi-
he told me the story, he won, I think he won like $3,000 and anyhow, they told him they didn't have that much money and he'd have to come back the next day to pay off. So he went back the next day and he said he noticed the blind, you know, people looking out the blind and he couldn't figure it out. And then he realized he had a sticker on his car, sheriff's, you know, friend of the sheriff or something, but they paid him off.
Well, Harold
All those
Meskin had
little
a,
stores got
had a
those
slot
places
machine in the
back
back
room.
of the furniture store, and the police confiscated it, and if it hadn't been the fact that he was a friend of English, they would have fined him probably and put him
Really?
in jail. Yeah.
Who's
I
it?
didn't know that.
Santa Maria.
Harold Meskin had Meskin's Furnitures, and I don't know where he got it, but he had a slot machine in the back of the store to play around with, and I guess friends of his came in and played too.
Hmm.
They confiscated.
Well, in Georgia, you're not supposed to pay off in money.
What are you gonna
But-
pay off in?
Yeah.
Kisses?
A gift certificate or something,
Oh,
you know.
wow.
But of course, they all pay off in money.
So how many
And-
do you have out there in the barn?
I don't have any. I don't have any.
Bingo. They have bingo. Wednesday
No,
night bingo.
I didn't.
Well, I tell you, I think Marilyn and I are gonna become American picker. And we're gonna go through Iowa in a van and buy,
Can you see
search,
this?
search barns for treasure.
Oh, God.
I've got
It's like
20
one year he got it in his idea that he wanted to get those Geiger counter things for the beach. And then I bought him one. He says, "What's this? What's this? I don't want to go
A
to the
metal
beach."
detector.
Metal detector.
The year we went to New England, and the first time, I don't remember what, it's been 20 years ago. You know, everybody had a yard sale, and we went in this barn, an old barn, they just had a lot of old junk, and there was about a 54 Chevrolet
Oh,
sitting back in there with dust about that thick on it.
yeah, that's what they'd go
It
for.
was New Hampshire, somewhere like that.
Well, we went to this little car show. I think maybe I told you. And we saw Mark V. Yeah, I did tell
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
And that guy found that car in a barn over in the valley. A woman had, I guess her husband drove it, and he died. And she got behind the wheel and drove the Mark V is that big Lincoln. My dad had one.
Yeah.
And she drove into the barn, and she got out of the car and handed the keys to somebody and said, "I'm never driving that thing again. It's like I've got a truck in front of me." And so this guy got the car from her, 23,000 miles on it.
Oh my goodness.
And I said, "Did you do all the work?" And he says, "I really didn't have to do much work at all. It was in just mint condition."
Wow.
Well,
That wasn't the best car out there, though. They had 48 Ford convertibles. They had the
Right.
last Volkswagen made in Germany, and it was totally restored, and it was showroom.
Yeah, that was a
Condition.
Had
good
the
one.
little thing on the.
Had the little
Little-
symbol on the front of from Germany. And I had that was my first Volkswagen. And if I'd been smart, I would have taken that emblem off of the hood when I sold it.
Why?
Or even
You'd
a little-
ruin it for somebody else.
The little tag
I don't
inside.
care about anybody else.
He's a Republican.
that,
Oh.
that Thunderbird I bought, it had 7,000 miles on it, and the top had never been on.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, the guy
Oh,
that,
is that the kind you could take the whole top off?
yeah, the
Whoa,
whole
it was
thing. yeah.
hard.
Wow.
Now, it had it off in the showroom.
Oh, yeah.
That Sun Motors or whatever it was
Oh,
in
yeah.
Sullivan.
Sullivan.
And the guy, when I bought it, the guy says, "Now, I'm gonna sell it to you on one condition." Said, "The guy that owns it wants to ride in it one more time with the top down."
Oh, wow.
And I went out there, and it was an old guy, somewhere out around Sawbang. And, you know, he came out, and I handed him the keys, and he said, "No, I don't want to drive it." He said, "I just want to ride it." And I said, "You,
Oh, wow.
How much did you pay for that?
$3,500.
Oh, my goodness.
Drove it a week, and Mama wrecked it.
Is that the one she had the wreck in?
did?
The doctor's on?
Your
Pulled-
mother drove
And guess
a
who she pulled out in
Thunderbird?
front? She pulled out, we were going to Riverside to
That
see
afternoon.
Jerry and Angie, and, she,
And
yeah, and Ibby. And she pulled out in
Angie's
front of a
fresh
guy,
off.
and you know who she pulled out in front of?
Old
And I don't,
girlfriend for me.
Some police officer.
his name was Sledge, the guy Angie was
Sledge.
dating.
Oh, yeah,
I don't forget what his name was. He worked for the gas company later.
yeah.
But the funny part about it, when I bought that car, for some reason, I didn't pick, they were gonna do something, so I drove that other Ford I had home and got right there in front of the church on Broadway going out.
Methodist?
Yeah, is that one right up close
Yeah.
to town?
Yeah.
Klugenberg.
Right there, and I stopped for a red light, and the guy hit me from behind.
In the Thunderbird?
No, in the Ford I
old
traded.
Ford.
The black one?
No, it was
No.
that gold and white one.
Oh, yeah. It's
57.
his fault?
And you know who bought that Ford?
No.
Art and Grace.
They did. What
They-
did they want it for?
I don't know, but he bought it. I took it. I told him where it was at, and he bought it and put a Continental on it.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, you know, did you see the American Picker program when they had a '57 Thunderbird? And he traded for,
Mm-mm.
a child's pedal car.
Mm.
It was like $20,000, valued at $20,000, and he traded even Steven for the child's,
You mean that one that you sit in a pedal car?
Yeah.
pedal car, yeah.
Wow.
And,
They're super
but it was
flexible.
pristine. It hadn't,
Oh.
it wasn't
Yeah.
remodeled. It was,
Just taken care of.
someone had put it on in a loft someplace, and it was sparklingly new.
Wow.
We stopped in a rest stop in Tennessee or somewhere a couple of years ago. And there was a guy sitting there in a '56 Thunderbird with a for sale sign on it. And I asked him I said, what do you want for it, about 28? And he said, no, 40, 44 or 45. I thought.
But didn't you drive Trudy Churn to Santa Barbara?
Not in that, yeah. I drove her car. No, did I? Yeah, she went to a Democrat meeting.
Yeah, but what kind of car was it?
I don't know.
Delivery truck?
Furniture truck.
I don't
A
know what.
what truck?
Furniture truck.
The delivery truck.
I can't imagine her riding in a furniture truck.
I don't know what.
I can't imagine in the T-Bird.
I know we went to eat, and before she.
This is my boss. When I was in high school, I worked in a furniture store.
That was a Democratic meeting.
Oh, of course.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, sure. But they'd
She
have
was
people
very
over.
masculine.
They'd have people over, and it'd be like two couples. It'd be six of them. Man, wife, and Dan and Trudy. And
Well, they were man wife.
after they ate, Trudy and the two men would get up and go in the other room and smoke cigars, and Dan and the women would clean up the kitchen. And they didn't know it, though. Dan had cooked the whole meal too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't ever remember seeing Dan. Now Trudy, I remember.
They were a strange couple. He was a great books guy. He studied the great books and he taught classes with the great books, and they're
But
both
he was
very
loved.
smart
He also
people.
taught teenagers for 10
Rifle
or 15
training.
years rifle management and training.
Rifle?
Yeah.
I would have never thought that.
How to shoot.
They
My
had-
brothers took classroom.
He had one bedroom that was just like a firing range. It was all, bullets and soot and stuff from cleaning rifles, and
Really?
yeah, it was filthy.
Ew.
But he also was a concert pianist and played.
Dan Churn?
Yeah, he played all the classics.
Diversified interest.
Well, he was organist and pianist for Lions for 30 years, and I guess until he died.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
I remember when Mother would drive the T-Bird to church,
I can't see
I can't
her
imagine her
driving.
and she'd
Driving.
say, "I hate this car," and her blowing up.
I thought you were gonna say she put that hair back and that top down and just
I
peeled
don't
out.
I don't understand what happened to the hairnet, but
I mean,
she
there I
just
would.
messed with her.
She
My
does.
hair's out of line out.
2 weeks,
gotta
wrecked 2
live.
cars.
Well, she must have liked it to drive it so many
I
times.
guess it was the only one there to drive. That's
Yeah.
why she would
I
take
don't
it.
know.
I
Why
don't know
would it
what
be?
happened to the cars that we had.
They sat there, she drove it.
I don't know how we went to Riverside or were planning on it.
We were planning to go, but we didn't go.
No, we didn't go.
Because it was when I was in first grade, I guess, and I came home at lunchtime,
It's 50,
and Marie
57.
came over, and I was home by myself, and I think Marie came over and
I don't know.
got me or something. But I was supposed to come home at lunchtime and
Oh.
not go back.
I don't know that I ever went to Riverside after that.
We came home from San Francisco with you, wasn't it?
Yeah, I've got mad about that,
Why did she get mad?
cause she wanted you and Mama to ride home on the bus with those two girls,
Oh,
and I told her she wasn't gonna ride the bus.
it was Tommy and my mom and James and I. And a T-Bird,
In a 57 TV. Kay was
the floorboard.
in the floorboard.
Wouldn't have worked if they had to wear seat belts with it.
I never owned a car with a seatbelt until they had to do in Georgia.
No, I just said it wouldn't. Y'all couldn't have done it if it'd been at the time that they.
I talked to a guy the other day, he was a forest guy, Joe Manning, retired, and this other guy's in there he used to work in LA, and we were talking about California, and he said, well, this guy, a forest guy, he said, I'd like to see some of those big trees. And I said, well, if I can find it, I got a picture of my car in that tree, somewhere up in Northern California.
We don't do that. You remember that?
A few things they do remember, Jerry.
It's us they don't remember.
Go around telling you love him. I mean, get up and go tell him. Make him feel like he's wanted.
Father's Day is until next week.
Jimmy's gonna call him.
He's already had enough today.
Yeah.
Jimmy's gonna call him and tell him.
That's my father said right now.
He said,
Yeah, text him.
and he knows he doesn't know how to pick up messages.
Yeah.
Well, while I'm here, I want to meet Jerry's butler.
Yeah.
Yes, there's him. He was a resident butler for a while.
This is Jerry's butler.
Yeah. It's a typical butler. Doesn't do any work. Owner has to do all the work.
Better be careful, because that's the boy right there, either him or that one over there is gonna have to take care of you when you get older.
Well, I'm stepping aside because Meryl is scared to death. Neither one of them will take her. She knows she'll be put in a home.
Told you, Shady Pines.
Well, I tell you what, I have an idea, I know which one will be chosen first.
You'd go check on her once a week at least, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I told Meryl that she and Wendy and Judy should start trying to room together because I'm gonna go first and she won't be able to sell this house and Judy can mow the back and Wendy and she can work in the weeds and go to plays, have book club and restaurants and all that and not worry.
Yeah, he was a good old boy.
I'm sure glad he went first.
I told Lucy one time that her daddy's gonna have to look after me when we got older, or us. They were only living in Columbus that time. She was about 5 years old, and she sat there a minute, and she said, I don't think he'll do that. I don't think he'll drive all the way up here to do that. 30 miles.
And the other one, he asked Victoria if she would look after him when he got over, don't put him in a old folks home when he got over, and she says, well, I thought this was an old folks home.
Who said that?
Victoria, when she was a little girl.
Oh,
Well, I thought one of them said something like James said, well, when I get old, will you take care of me or something? And she said, aren't you old now?
No, that was Victoria. I used to ask her every time she'd go home, I held her for 6 months while her mama was in school.
Oh,
And she was
that's
a
right.
baby, and I used to ask her every time, I said, Victoria, you gonna look after me when I get old? Yeah, sure will, Granddaddy. One day she asked me, she said, why do you ask me all that? And I said, well, your daddy and Uncle Tim and Aunt Gail are gonna put put us in an old folks home when, if we're not careful. She couldn't figure it out. She sat there a minute and said, "Granddaddy, I thought this was an old folks home." You know, when they're that young, they tell you the truth.
Yeah.
They're not like when they get older and they tell you what you wanna hear. You knew I saved your dad's life one
Pushed him in the water, so.
time. No, I pulled him out. Do you know what a crawdad is?
Yeah.
Well, who pushed me in?
You fell in. You know what
There's just two of us there.
you know what stricoline is?
A what?
Stricoline.
I don't either.
Oh, you
You do too.
Strickalina?
do. It's bacon before it's
Strickling.
smoked or whatever.
Well, I didn't know.
But we had a
Me either.
How would
tank.
I know that?
James, wasn't that the kind of ham that
No,
you
it's-
sent us for a joke or something? Remember you sent us a ham?
That was the year we got married,
Yeah.
because you fixed it.
Yeah.
You sent a
That we got
ham.
married.
Cured
That was-
ham, a cured.
That
It was so salty.
yeah, man.
That's what
That's
it's good.
oh, that wasn't no joke. That was an expensive
Well,
ham.
I had to soak it in water or something.
Oh no, you just didn't know how to cook it.
Well, how would you cook it?
Country, that's country ham.
Put it in your
People kill
beans
for
or your
that.
peas or your,
Yeah.
to cook.
Yeah, well, see, I didn't know I was supposed to use it to season things, right?
But you eat it, you
Eat it too.
like
Man,
bacon.
people kill for that.
Well, isn't that like ham hock?
Well, look, you had the ham hock when you got down far enough.
Well, what was the kind of
They
bacon?
have
that-
bacon
Well,
sliced.
I
Mom
shouldn't have
Slice
been
had
baking it, Dad,
occasionally,
thinking that
it
we're
was
having
thick
baked
and
ham,
salty.
right?
Stricoline.
Oh, that was that? Well, why
Yes,
didn't- why
you
didn't
guys
just send
know
it
this
sliced?
story.
I know we threw it away.
No, we soaked it overnight or for a week or something.
Dave and Kay ate it?
No,
It was right before we got married.
yeah, and they were gonna come and have dinner with us, and then they didn't come because
We did,
Yeah,
we
they
came,
heard you
No,
had
but,
we did come.
but Dave's sister
And
and her husband
Daddy and
canceled.
Aline were there. Oh, but Dave might not have been there, but,
No, Dave was there, but his
No,
sister and
that's a breakfast.
husband canceled.
Ham and eggs.
oh, Sandy and Dave?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, Rachel Chambers,
They didn't
she,
cancel, they just didn't
everywhere
come.
she went, she had to have country
I
ham
didn't know
and
they were
eggs.
invited.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
It was
that's,
like Thursday before we got married on Saturday.
And that would have been country ham?
Yeah, that's country ham.
Well, we didn't do
We
it
didn't know
right.
this.
In fact, we used to cut them up for old farmers in town. They cure their own. They kill a hog and salt it down for ever how long. Then
Was
they
in
bring
a-
it in
Well, I
store.
soaked it and drained it all out.
It was in a burlap bag, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that, I don't know.
I remember it.
Well, we didn't eat it, did we?
We tried, I think.
And
It
we
was very
decided-
salty.
Huh?
Even after all the soaking, it was salty. I
Well,
remember
that's what we
that.
liked. We liked
Yeah.
salt.
Y'all never,
These weird relatives.
That's
relatives
y'all
like
wouldn't
this
like
stuff.
hush puppies then, would you?
The Canadians.
We
would
didn't
do
have
that.
hush puppies.
Do what?
The Canadians would do that overseas. They would have it all cut up, not bacon-like, but just cut up in chunks with thick slices. And it'd be so salty.
Yeah. Well, that's how they
Oh, it's
cured it.
good, yeah. You couldn't have a whole lot of it though. It was,
See,
it
when
was
my
very rich.
grandparents had the farm where we lived, they had a smokehouse
Mm.
in the backyard, and they cured, they killed.
When I first started in the store,
Yeah, that's good.
Mr. Phillips was still there, and we had, the railroad was still in operation. They had a sidetrack right across the street from the store. And they would bring a railroad car, and we would go over, and it was filled with salt.
The boxcar?
Yeah, and, we'd get together with 2 or 3 people in other places in town and order salt. And we'd haul, I don't know, how much salt over there, and I know we put
Blocks
it,
of salt?
no, in sacks, 50-pound bags, 25. And you know where Bill Douthit lived? Over by the Women's Club. Well, we'd take it over there, he had a place,
Across from where the party was.
yeah, Mr. Phillips owned that house, and he had a little room in the back, and we'd store salt there. And these old farmers would come in when they'd kill hogs, and they'd want 50 pounds of salt, and we'd go there and get them 50 pounds of salt. And they'd have a box and put that fresh meat in there that they'd killed, and then
Yeah.
just cover it up with salt and leave
Oh,
it.
and that's how
For how
they
long?
cured it?
Well, I don't know, I mean,
Well, where did Mom and Dad get that salty bacon? That was thick,
it's
that-
Jeffrey's Market.
Oh.
Well, you buy
They
it like
would
that,
cook
and
that
you buy
kind
it
of
in,
bacon rather than the
in,
packaged at
well,
home.
I mean,
Yeah, well,
if
they
you're in a
had it
store,
for breakfast, the two of them liked it, I guess, it was
If
so
you-
salty.
if you were gonna order it, you ordered bellies, you'd order 3 bellies, and they'd come in about like that, about like
Wasn't that what they're eating now is cheeks, pork cheeks? That's,
Oh, well, I've sold them many, a ear,
Pork belly.
Tail.
tails,
Pork belly.
feet.
is that it?
Well, Merrill's father liked pickled pig's feet.
Well, every bar in Georgia's got a thing of pickled pig's feet and a pickled
Boiled
egg
eggs.
on the thing up
Boiled
there.
eggs.
I
Yeah,
don't think
Yeah.
you ever had the eggs, but I used to eat the pickled pig's feet.
Oh,
chitlins,
No.
sold the world of chitlins.
But he and Joe did talk about
How
the
much
bacon that
chitlins
was
Well, they know.
so strict,
well, thick,
thick.
Huh?
yeah, but not salty.
Do they know?
No, I don't think so.
Pig intestines.
What?
Chitlins.
Brittany's never gonna eat
Little
meat.
hot dog. What is it?
We had a guy at home.
Pig intestines.
What? Oh, pig intestines?
We had a guy
They
at
wash
home
them
that
out.
he
Well, why
was
eat
a
it
Standard
then?
Oil
I
dealer,
don't.
and every once in a while they'd have a
Isn't that
chitlin
what's in the
supper
noodle?
around somewhere.
What's in the noodle?
For a fundraiser or something, and he'd
Tripe.
always take
Tripe.
2 or 3
What is it?
pieces of
What's it
corn,
called? Tripe?
Try.
and he'd be
Yeah.
eating those chitlins, and then he'd
Well,
take
no,
that
it's
corn
not.
out and lay it down there, and he'd say, well, here's some they missed.
What's tripe, Jim?
Huh?
What's tripe?
That's southern
That's-
funny.
that's-
Tripe's basically the same thing,
The
Oh, so yeah.
intestines.
Tripe is what?
Intestines,
only that's beef, I think,
yeah. It's cow.
beef, it's different.
Oh, yeah.
They really
sell
got
that?
tired of eating regular food.
I'll tell you something else you don't wanna hear,
I've had it.
that we
Wasn't
used to
bad.
sell and
What?
sell a lot of.
Tripe,
You know what,
Yeah.
pig fries are?
Must've been drunk.
Sold the world of them.
Are they
Pig
ears?
fries?
yeah, they,
Are they ears? Big ears?
when I lived in Santa Barbara,
Oh.
there's
What
a
did they call
Mexican
it?